Am I the asshole for resetting my partner's computer when it wasn't working? Context. I am not a tech person. I know a bit about this and that and I can get my way around a computer. My partner is a PC genius. She built the desktop we have in like 2015 or something like that. She works full-time and I am in school full-time. Psych pre-med, very vigorous, and work part-time. She left for work today and I went to get on the computer to do class. Recently a problem has been happening where our Wi-Fi adapter stops working. This device does not exist. It happens about 1 or 2 times a month and REALLY puts a wrench in my classes. I have a laptop for notes and small research projects, just it overheats if I try to do class on it. So I use the desktop. Usually the issue is solved by uninstalling the software, and using a flash drive to reinstall the software. I tried that and it didn't work. I tried again, and even tried to install the new update which didn't work because we didn't have internet. Nothing was working. So I reset the PC, using the "Save my personal files" option. It deleted all the apps, but kept files. When I let her know she pretty much exploded. Said something like the files were set up specifically to allow the PC to boot. I asked her to explain and she said, "It's hard to explain." She does this all the time. I ask her to teach me how to fix something on the PC and she basically says, "No, I'll just do it." Like I couldn't possibly understand the concept. And not just with computer things either, it's a constant thing. Anyway, I explained to her that it was keeping the files, and she says, "Well, it might mess everything up, this I can acknowledge. I have no idea how PC stuff works, so yeah, it's possible. However, I miss so much class for this reason and obviously the thing that was working isn't working anymore. If the PC isn't working right then a reset is likely needed." She went off about how it's her computer and that I should have just used mine, and I've explained to her that it overheats when I try. My grades are suffering because of this, and I need a really good GPA to get into the med school I want to go to. She kept focusing on how it was her computer and I ended up just hanging up because she wasn't hearing me at all. Am I the asshole? TLDR. The PC hasn't been working correctly in a while and partner refuses to teach me anything on how to fix it properly, so I resetted it, making sure that personal files would be kept. To see if that would help. Partner seems to feel that the fact that I was her computer outweighs the fact that I need to go to school. Edit. I work part-time and go to full-time pre-med school. I make about $800 a month, spend around $650 on an employee that I support, pay utilities, and food, and the rest goes into a savings account for me to get a copay for the surgery that I need. That is why I am unable to buy a new PC. Edit. I had no idea that PCs were this volatile. WTF could happen when you accidentally unplug it? Anyway, everything is working fine now, and the internet is working too. The files are fine, the 2 drivers are still there and everything is fine. I understand now that I am the asshole. I'm gonna try and do everything in my power to help any sort of damage that may have been caused. Not sure if I'll update, but who knows. You are the asshole. You say you don't know tech stuff, you can't properly describe the problem, but yet you're somehow qualified to troubleshoot a problem and make changes all without contacting your partner about her computer. You are the asshole. It's her PC and you should have asked her before making changes. If your PC isn't suitable for your work, you should get a new one that is. You are the asshole. What do you mean I can't put diesel in my car's tank? Fuel is fuel. For the love of God, get yourself a $300 idiot-proof Chromebook. One with working Wi-Fi, preferably. You are the asshole. You admit you might have messed everything up because you have no idea how things work. Buy a better computer. This isn't her problem. You're the one not listening. You are the asshole. It doesn't matter how dire your straits are. You don't fuck with someone else's shit when you don't have their permission and you don't know what you're doing. TBH here and in the comments you sound really entitled to her teaching you how, or building a PC with you. It's not wrong to ask once, but it's also not her job to do that for you. If your laptop has shit out, then you need to save up or figure something else out. You had no right to do that to her computer without her knowledge or permission, and the sooner you can own that, the better. Why are you paying most of your income to support an employee? Especially as it's leaving you unable to meet your own needs. It is her computer, so you are the asshole for resetting without her permission, though I do understand your frustration, especially as she doesn't take the time to show you how to fix things. You are the asshole. Get your own computer that works. YTA. If she built the computer, she has everything set up the way she wants. Now there are drivers to reinstall, settings to restore, programs she will need to reinstall in order for her computer to work the way she intended. Not to mention Windows updates to do as what you did took it back to whatever version of Windows was in the recovery partition. Why have you not tried to figure out why your laptop isn't working for you? Perhaps have your girlfriend help you with your computer? It's not the computer, it really is her computer, and if that is hard for you to understand, that could be the problem. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend set boundaries with a coworker? Hey guys, little bit of a tricky situation here. For context, I'm a 21-year-old male. So my 21F girlfriend, I'll call her C, recently started a new job and met a new male coworker. I'll call him J. It's a long story as to why this is, but C had to leave our high school years back due to severe anxiety and panic attacks, and as a result most the friendships she had kind of ended as she went to a new school and lost contact with everyone. This is relevant because to this today it's still hard for her to make friends, and other than my friends and people she sees at culinary school, she doesn't really have any really good friends who she feels she can be completely open with, and I think this is what led to the situation at hand. For context, C and I got together a little over 2 years and it's been pretty smooth sailing since. Anyway, she recently started a new job and met J. Initially she was happy to have someone who she could talk to at work and everything was good. Then he asked her out and she rightly said no because she had a boyfriend, but that they could still be friends. Everything is good at this point. Sometime after this they get each other's numbers and start texting and calling, which was fine with me because I was there for most of their conversations anyway and he seemed like a nice enough person. This Memorial Day weekend though everything took a turn for the worse. She has been complaining recently about the amount of work I have to do. I'm a pre-med and applying to med schools over the summer. However, this was a relatively chill weekend for me with no work and I was always present with her and not distracted. However, basically the whole weekend they were texting and talking non-stop to the point where my parents are asking me what's up. So after he asked her if she would have given him a chance if she wasn't with me and that she's so cute that she needs to be careful because then he'll resort to impulse control, which by his own admission is not good. I told her that she needs to set boundaries with him and that what she did was really disrespectful. Furthermore, I told her to cancel her plans with him this week because I didn't feel comparable with her going. This has caused a whole lot of drama and now she feels like she has to axe their friendship. I guess I'm wondering if I'm the asshole because that has been her only friend in a while and I don't want to be controlling. Too long did not read. Girlfriend became friends with new coworker. He did a series of inappropriate things. I asked her to set boundaries and not hang one-on-one with him. Friendship might end as a result. Am I the asshole? Edit. My girlfriend has ended the friendship, which has proved to me that she values our relationship. She did feel like he was going to try something, but she thought it was her anxiety and felt like I had dismissed similar comments before. Thank you for all the input. Edit 2. Jay has since said that he will back off since she said that she needs to break off the friendship. She really thought it was going to be just a friendship, but as soon as he said the impulse control comment she got weirded out. Not the asshole, he was never a friend to her. He was a guy waiting for an opportunity to make a move. Not the asshole, anyone saying otherwise is insane. You asked her for a very fair boundary. This dude wants to fuck your girlfriend and said he may lose his impulse control around her, which is fucking weird. You may not have said it's you or him, but that's what it is. Your girlfriend cannot remain friends with someone who makes you uncomfortable while remaining in your relationship. It's unsustainable. Not the asshole. He said she is so cute and he would have to control himself and he is not good at controlling himself and she still kept texting and talking to him. This is beyond friendship by now. It is flirtation, which is fun as hell, but she has to figure out if she wants you or him. Not the asshole if it makes you uncomfortable and he has already showed her his intentions. But you can't make her not talk to anyone, this will have to be a choice she makes on her own. Yeah, something is up. Sounds like emotional cheating is starting to take place with the texting. Not the asshole. It's good to not want to be controlling and you've done a good job of taking this guy in stride where a lot of others wouldn't and giving them the room to be friends. Good for you. That said, he has said some things that you mentioned there, that don't make it sound like he has entirely accepted only being friends. So wanting boundaries is fair. You just need to work together and explain where you are coming from, to set boundaries that work for you both and can still let them be friends, if he is genuinely able to do that. She needs to be careful because then he'll resort to impulse control, which by his own admission is not good. What does this mean? He's going to sexually assault her and it will be her fault? What cave did this Neanderthal grow up in? Did he know she had a boyfriend when he asked her out? This guy is all kinds of skeezy. Your girlfriend needs to cut him off and report him to our. And, he's not a friend if he's doing this. Friends don't sexually harass friends. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She's loving the attention clearly, he's desperate and you're being left on the sidelines. It's not unreasonable to ask your partner to set boundaries with someone who is making you uncomfortable. Would I be the asshole if I force my parents to give their business to me? So, I have this crazy story. Short story. I was scammed by my own parents. Long story. Before I graduated from college, my parents told me that they're planning to open a branch of their hardware store. They want me to manage it and promised that after 3 years, once the cash flow is great, they will transfer it to me. Obviously, I grabbed the opportunity because, duh, it's a fucking business. So I worked hard for free, their condition, because I believed that I'll have it someday. 3 years later, the branch did well. It's earning more than the main branch, which they managed. Now, the lockdown forced it to shut down for a few months, but it went back eventually. And I thought it would finally be transferred to me. But they didn't. After our business resumed its operation, my dad suddenly took over. I got demoted to a sales staff. My dad is freaking toxic. He had this know-it-all attitude. He refused to get lectured, especially by me who is just his son. Ever since he took over, the business's performance is declining. It's frustrating. Last night, I talked to them about our agreement 5 years ago. I asked them when will the ownership be transferred to me. They suddenly got furious and even resorted to calling me ambiciosa, basically, ambitious but in a very derogatory manner, because apparently, I'm still too young to own a business. I should wait for them to die before I inherit the business. In the meantime, I should learn to humble myself. I don't even know what they meant with that, but surely, I've had enough. I'm turning 26 this year, and yet I don't have any savings at all. While my friends are either married, owned a house, or are traveling to places they want to, I'm still here, asking for my parents to give me money if I want to buy something. So I ran away earlier this morning and crashed at my best friend's place. My best friend is a corporate lawyer. And after telling him my situation, he told me that we can file a lawsuit against my parents to force them to give the business to me. After all, oral agreement is still a contract, and it is still valid, 6 years validity. I also have evidence to prove it, Facebook chat from 5 years ago, and multiple witnesses. Technically, what they did is a fraud. On top of that, I'm also considered a slave, since I didn't earn anything from it. I wasn't even registered as an employee, so they don't pay my tax and the mandated health insurance and social security system. Aside from forcing them to give the business to me, I can also receive more compensation for the years I lost. This sounds appealing, but his mom protested against the idea, saying this is absurd and a form of blackmailing, and if you think about it, it does sound like blackmailing. Hey, Dad, you give the business to me or you'll face a lawsuit that you cannot win and probably force your business to close. Yes, that sounds like blackmailing. Now, I'm conflicted. I want to get what I deserved, but I don't want to be an asshole. Would I be the asshole? Geez. Not the asshole, and I'm sorry that you're almost 26 and still think of staying somewhere else as running away. They sure have done a number on you. They used you for free labor to grow their business and forced you to be unable to grow up and be an adult and start your own life. Suing someone for fraud really doesn't count as blackmail. Not the asshole. Sue them. They didn't treat you like their kid. They treated you like a slave. They've stolen time and money, and frankly, how can you get a life partner as you are now? Not the asshole. File the lawsuit. Your parents are completely toxic and treated you horribly. Would you even be asking if it wasn't a relative? There's no reason why they should get a pass. Not the asshole. Parents can't go back on their word just because they're your parents. Had you known they wouldn't follow through, you could have built a very different and successful life for yourself. Not the asshole. Sounds like the right thing to do, though you will be destroying any relationship with you parents, though given their treatment of you, that is likely a good thing. Not the asshole. Your friend's mother is speaking as a parent and not as legal counsel. You completed your part of the contract in good faith. If this proposal forces your parents to complete their part without taking it to court, it's much better for all parties. Your father lied to you. You have every right to compensation for your hard work. Again, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Although I personally would either go for the business or the back pay, not both. Especially since the free labor you provided was your investment, sweat equity, in the business that earned your stake in the company. It's not blackmail to refuse to be used and abused. Not the asshole. Sue them in civil court and aim for back pay. You've got all the experience running the store, so you'll be an asset to someone else. After the 6 years of back pay, enjoy the no-contact life. The money lost there might potentially be enough to drive them under. Not the asshole. Would I be the asshole if I refused to continue watching my granddaughter? So this all started about 3 months ago. I, 56F, recently retired from a long career as a teacher. I have 3 kids myself who are all adults now, and this issue involves my oldest son Matt, 27, and his wife Mel, 26. For a little context, I really did not want to be a full-time childcare provider once I retired. I always told my kids not to expect that I could be factored into their family planning. Basically, don't think I will be cheap, free daycare for their children. It was partly a joke, but mostly an observation I made from watching friends end up in this position. My relationship with my Dill is decent, but we are not all that close. I normally stay out of their affairs and try not to get involved with their personal issues, although my son will confide in me occasionally. I try to stay as neutral as I can, but sometimes I feel like my Dill can be a bit irresponsible. Matt and Mel have a 5-month-old Maddie, and Matt came to me with an issue. Originally, Mel was supposed to be a Tom, but in a panic, Matt tells me that during her maternity leave she has not cut back on her spending, and they are now in a significant amount of debt, to the point that my son's salary alone cannot both pay off the debt and support the bills without having major financial ramifications. He begged me to watch Maddie so Dill could return to work and help pay off this debt. I agreed, provided she gets herself some help for her shopping addiction, and they did not micromanage how I care for the baby. We are now 3 months into our arrangement they think will last about a year, and I am just about done. The main issues stem from the fact that she does not like the way I babysit, and she calls probably 15 times a day. I watch Maddie at my house because I prefer to be in my own home so I can carry on with my life while doing them a favor. I mainly have the baby in her play area or swing when she is up, and I put her down for 3 naps while she is with me, with the last one before my Dill comes to get her. My Dill would like her to nap twice with me and be up when she comes to pick her up so she can take the last nap when they get home. She also does not like that Maddie takes her naps upstairs in her crib instead of in my great room. The final straw for me was today when she called me 3 times while I was in the bathroom. Baby was napping. When I answered on the 4th call, she started yelling at me for not answering. When I told her I was in the bathroom, she got all upset that I wasn't watching the baby. I finally told her that all her calling was what was getting in the way of me watching the baby. I know she is upset that she cannot be home with Maddie, and I understand she is a first-time mom, but she is making me crazy, and I am worried that we will damage our relationship if this continues. I have tried to talk to her and my son and set boundaries, but it is not working with her, regardless of how many times my son tells her I am doing them a huge favor. I want to quit, so am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Their childcare situation is a problem of their own making, not yours. You clearly laid out your conditions for doing them this favor, and your Dill has refused to honor them. Moreover, you're a recently retired teacher who, IMHO, has earned a break from kids. Not the asshole. She created this situation by getting into debt, and won't abide by your conditions for doing her a year-long favor. I'd let them sort out alternative childcare. Not the asshole. You are doing them a huge favor for free, and you have raised kids of your own who turned out fine. Your Dill needs to chill and show some respect. Not the asshole. Your Dill is a choosing beggar. This situation is entirely of her own making. You're doing them a huge favor by providing free childcare, and now your Dill wants to dictate how you do this huge favor for them. You've tried talking to them with no changes, so you need to do whatever you feel will be best for you. Not the asshole. But I would say don't bow out right away. Tell them you are done and give them another month or so to find different care. Not the asshole. They don't have a childcare problem, they have marriage problems. We only have the son side of the story for their finances. Her being forced to go back to work when she planned to be a SOM sucks. She is probably dealing with some separation issues from that. But this is too much for you to deal with and not what you signed up for. Dill should stay home with the baby, and they can explore other options for their finances. Not the asshole. You're not doing anything wrong in how you look after the baby. I understand that she's a first-time mom, but she's in the position she's in because of her addiction. If she can't trust someone else to look after her kid, then she should have considers their finances before overspending. If she isn't comfortable leaving baby with you while she goes to work, to the point where she finds it necessary to call 15 times a day, then she needs to find someone else to babysit. Not the asshole. You already made it clear you never wanted to be daycare for grandkids. I agreed provided she gets herself some help for her shopping addiction and they did not micromanage how I care for the baby. They broke the contract. She is micromanaging you.